Ladies and gentlemen, there is something happening in the world today that most people have not stopped to think about. We are living in a time when information is everywhere, opportunities are everywhere, opinions are everywhere, and everybody seems to be trying to get attention. Yet right in the middle of all this abundance, something has become extremely scarce, people of uncommon value. And that is why becoming rare may be one of the most powerful success strategies you can develop. Now, when I say become rare, I don't mean become strange. I don't mean isolate yourself from society. I don't mean try to look different just for the sake of being different. No. I mean become the kind of person whose combination of character, discipline, knowledge, communication, reliability, courage, and skill is difficult to find, because the marketplace does not reward you simply because you exist. It rewards value. And one of the principles strongly associated with personal development philosophy is that your development increases the value you bring into the world. What you become influences what you attract, and personal development is a lifelong process. So perhaps the better question is not, how can I compete with everybody? No, the better question is, how can I become so valuable that comparison becomes unnecessary? Think about it. If everybody can do something, that skill becomes ordinary. If everybody has the same information alone doesn't make you special. If everybody is talking, being able to communicate clearly becomes valuable. If everybody starts things but few people finish them, finishing becomes valuable. If everybody wants immediate rewards, patience becomes valuable. If everybody changes direction every week, consistency becomes valuable. You don't necessarily win by becoming louder. You win by becoming better. You become rare by developing qualities that most people are unwilling to develop. And that takes time. That's the part people don't like. Everybody wants the result of rarity, but very few people want the discipline required to become rare. Everybody wants to be respected, but not everybody wants to become dependable. Everybody wants financial freedom, but not everybody wants to learn how money works. Everybody wants confidence, but not everybody wants to keep promises to themselves. Everybody wants opportunities, but not everybody wants to develop the skills that make them ready when opportunity arrives. And this is where personal development becomes more than motivational language. It becomes an investment strategy for your entire life. You are the investment. Your mind is the investment. Your character is the investment. Your skills are the investment. Your habits are the investment. Your reputation is the investment. And unlike many things you can buy, these assets can become more valuable with time if you deliberately develop them. Now let me give you a simple challenge. Stop asking yourself, what can I get? Start asking, what can I become? That one question can change the direction of your life. Because when you ask what you can get, your attention goes outward. But when you ask what you can become, your attention comes inward. And suddenly, instead of blaming the economy, you start improving your skills. Instead of complaining about your circumstances, you start improving your habits. Instead of worrying about who is ahead of you, you start building yourself. Instead of waiting for somebody to recognize your potential, you start turning potential into performance. And that is where real power begins. You see, the world does not owe you recognition for potential. Potential is only possibility. Performance is evidence. You can tell people what you're capable of. You can explain your dreams. You can describe your plans. You can announce your intentions. But eventually your results have to speak. Promises must become performance. Ideas must become action. Knowledge must become ability. Ability must become value. And value must eventually become results. That is how you become rare. You develop something useful, and then you develop yourself enough to use it consistently. Now think about the person who can walk into a difficult situation and remain calm. That person is rare. Think about the person who can be trusted when nobody is watching. Rare, think about the person who can learn a complicated subject and explain it simply. Rare, think about the person who can sell without manipulating. Rare. Think about the person who can lead without needing to dominate. Rare. Think about the person who can disagree without becoming disrespectful. Rare. Think about the person who can receive criticism without collapsing emotionally. Rare. And think about the person who can stay disciplined when motivation disappears. Very rare. And what is rare tends to become valuable. This is why you should stop trying to become everything. Become excellent at something meaningful. You don't need to know everything. You need to know something deeply. You don't need to master every skill. You need to develop a combination of skills that makes you unusually useful. Maybe you're a great writer who understands business. Maybe you're a designer who understands psychology. Maybe you're a salesperson who understands technology. Maybe you're an engineer who can communicate. Maybe you're a teacher who understands leadership. Maybe you're a business owner who understands people. The combination is where the magic happens. One skill can make you useful. Several complementary skills can make you difficult to replace, and that is one of the great opportunities of your generation. You can build your own combination, but here's the warning. Becoming rare requires you to resist the temptation to be average, and average is not an insult. Average is simply what happens when you follow the average habits of the average person. You sleep when you should be working. You work when you should be learning. You consume more than you create. You talk more than you practice. You plan more than you execute. You start more than you finish. You blame more than you take responsibility. And then you wonder why the results remain ordinary. Your future is being constructed in the small things you repeatedly do. That is why discipline matters so much. The philosophy of personal development repeatedly returns to the idea that success comes from simple disciplines practiced consistently rather than from some mysterious secret, and that should encourage you, because if becoming exceptional required one giant miracle, most people would be helpless. But it doesn't. You can become rare, one decision at a time. Read when other people scroll, practice when other people talk, save when other people spend, think when other people react, listen when other people interrupt, prepare when other people improvise, finish when other people quit, learn when other people complain, and over time something remarkable happens. The difference becomes visible, not immediately, but eventually. This is the power of compounding. One day of discipline doesn't change your life. 1 year of discipline can. One book doesn't transform you, but hundreds of books, thoughtful conversations, difficult experiences, and deliberate practice can completely reshape your philosophy. One workout doesn't transform your body. Hundreds of workouts do. One good financial decision doesn't create wealth, but thousands of disciplined financial decisions can change your financial future. One courageous conversation doesn't transform your character, but repeatedly choosing courage over avoidance does. You become rare through accumulation. You become rare through repetition. You become rare through standards. And perhaps most importantly, you become rare through patience, because the world is full of people who want to be exceptional by Friday. They want overnight success. They want immediate recognition. They want instant wealth. They want a shortcut, but nature does not work that way. The tree doesn't become strong because it desperately wants to become strong. It grows season after season, year after year, root by root, branch by branch. And your life works in much the same way. You don't need to become a completely different person tomorrow. You need to become slightly better today, then slightly better tomorrow, then slightly better again. That is how a person becomes extraordinary. And here's another important point. Being rare is not about perfection. You will make mistakes. You will have bad days. You will lose money. You will choose badly sometimes. You will disappoint yourself. You will encounter people who don't understand you. You will have seasons when progress feels invisible. That's life. The goal isn't to never fall. The goal is to develop the character to rise again. In fact, adversity can become part of what makes you rare. A person who has suffered but learned is different from a person who has suffered and only complained. A person who has failed but studied the failure becomes stronger. A person who has been rejected but continued developing becomes more resilient. A person who has lost something but refuses to lose their philosophy becomes dangerous, in the best sense of the word. Not dangerous to other people, dangerous to limitation, dangerous to excuses, dangerous to mediocrity, dangerous to the version of yourself that once believed you couldn't change. And that brings us to another secret. Becoming rare means becoming responsible. You have to stop waiting for someone else to build your life. Your parents cannot do it. Your friends cannot do it. Your employer cannot do it. The government cannot do it. Your partner cannot do it. Someone may help you. Someone may encourage you. Someone may open a door. But nobody can become you. Nobody can read for you. Nobody can think for you. Nobody can practice for you. Nobody can discipline you. Nobody can make your decisions for you. At some point, you have to take ownership. And responsibility is powerful because it returns your attention to the area where you have influence. You may not control the economy, but you can improve your skills. You may not control other people's opinions, but you can improve your character. You may not control every opportunity, but you can prepare yourself for opportunities. You may not control the past, but you can decide what you do next. That is freedom, and the more capable you become, the more freedom you create. This is why personal development is not merely about feeling good. It is about increasing your capacity to earn, capacity to lead, capacity to solve problems, capacity to communicate, capacity to handle pressure, capacity to manage money, capacity to build relationships, capacity to make wise decisions, capacity to recover from failure, capacity to carry responsibility without being crushed by it. Your income may rise, but if your capacity doesn't rise with it, the money can disappear. Your business may grow, but if your leadership doesn't grow, the organization can collapse. Your audience may increase, but if your character doesn't grow, attention can become a burden. Success without development can become a temporary condition. Development creates the person capable of sustaining success. That is why becoming rare is more powerful than chasing status. Status asks, how do I look? Value asks, what can I contribute? Status wants applause, value wants results. Status needs comparison. Value creates impact. And if you focus on value long enough, recognition often follows naturally. So don't spend your life trying to convince people you're special. Become useful, become dependable. Become skilled, become disciplined, become thoughtful, become courageous. Become someone who brings something to the table that is difficult to find anywhere else. Then you don't have to announce your value. People experience it. And here's something else you should remember. Rare people are not necessarily the people with the most talent. They are often the people who combine talent with consistency. Talent is common. Consistency is rare. Intelligence is common. Wisdom is rarer. Ambition is common. Follow through is rare. Ideas are common. Execution is rare. Dreams are common. Discipline is rare. And that means you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You need to become one of the most prepared. You don't need to be the most talented. You need to become one of the most persistent. You don't need to have every advantage. You need to make extraordinary use of the advantages you do have. Start there. Start with what you have. Start where you are. Start with the hour you can control. Start with the book you can read. Start with the skill you can practice. Start with the money you can save. Start with the habit you can change. Start with the conversation you've been avoiding. Start with the responsibility you've been postponing, and then keep going. Because the person you want to become is not created by one dramatic decision. That person is created by hundreds of ordinary decisions made correctly. And perhaps 5 years from now, you will look back and realize that your greatest breakthrough didn't come from one opportunity. It came from becoming the kind of person who could recognize and use opportunities. That is the difference. The opportunity may already be around you, but are you ready for it? Because opportunity without preparation can look like bad luck. Preparation turns opportunity into results. So here's your assignment. For the next 12 months, stop trying to become famous. Try to become valuable. Stop trying to impress everyone. Try to serve someone exceptionally well. Stop trying to know everything. Master something useful. Stop trying to look successful. Build the habits that produce success. Read something valuable every day. Write your ideas down. Practice your craft. Take care of your body. Protect your attention. Choose your associations carefully. Keep your promises. Review your mistakes. Save some money. Learn how to communicate. Learn how to sell your ideas. Learn how to listen. Learn how to think. And every night, ask yourself one question: did I become more valuable today? Not richer, not more popular, not more admired, more valuable, because if you become more valuable, you increase your possibilities, you increase your confidence, you increase your options, you increase your ability to help others, and eventually you increase your rewards. That is the formula. Become more, become better, become useful, become disciplined, become rare, and let the results follow. The world does not need another person desperately trying to fit in. It needs people willing to develop their minds, strengthen their character, sharpen their skills, and bring meaningful value into the lives of others. So don't be afraid to become different. Don't be afraid to outgrow old habits. Don't be afraid to spend time learning when everyone else is distracted. Don't be afraid to say no to things that make you ordinary. Don't be afraid to walk a slower road if it is taking you somewhere worthwhile. And don't confuse loneliness with failure. Sometimes growth requires you to separate yourself from environments that can no longer support the person you're becoming. You don't have to hate anyone. You simply have to protect your direction. Your life is too valuable to be designed by accident. Your philosophy matters. Your associations matter. Your habits matter. Your daily choices matter. And your development matters. So perhaps the new success formula isn't really new at all. It is an old principle applied to a changing world. Become more valuable than you were yesterday. Become the person who can do what others cannot. Become the person who can remain steady when others panic. Become the person who can learn when others become defensive. Become the person who can work when motivation disappears. Become the person who can lead when nobody is watching. Become the person who can be trusted with greater responsibility, because when you become rare, you no longer have to chase every opportunity. You become prepared for the right opportunities, and when preparation meets opportunity, your life can change. So don't ask yourself tonight, how can I become successful? Ask something deeper. What kind of person would naturally create the success I want? Then become that person. One book at a time, one habit at a time, one difficult decision at a time, one disciplined morning at a time, one courageous action at a time, 1 year at a time, and one day you will realize something powerful. You were never competing with everybody else. You were competing with the limits you accepted about yourself. And the moment you decided to become more, the competition changed. You stopped trying to be another version of someone else. You started becoming an original. And an original cannot be easily replaced. That is what it means to become rare. That is what it means to become valuable. And that may be one of the most powerful success formulas you can carry into the rest of your life. Become so developed, so disciplined, so useful, and so authentic that your value speaks before you do. Don't chase success. Build the person capable of creating it, and then keep becoming, because the greatest investment you will ever make is not in what you own, it is in what you become.